Hey Marcus, how you doing? Thank you so much for including your work here. So I think that you've got some good ideas. So this is an interactive hologram. That's great. That's great. And over here you've got a giant touchscreen kiosk. And then over here you have virtual reality goggles. These are really fantastic ideas. Three excellent ideas. But let's not stop here. Let's do this. Let's take a look at the design here and really try to describe and explain either verbally, textually here, or and probably be best to just give a written description of each of your three ideas and explain all of the features and details really in a highly detailed way. Um, so we really need to know what the intent is behind each of these. Now listen, this is really important to understand, Marcus. What are we after here? This is deep dive immersion, right? So the challenge here is to to look at the vehicle configurator. And as we learn in deep dive and design thinking, it's not the same as design. So the difference between design and design thinking and deep dive immersion is this, is that in design, all we would do here is we would say, okay, I'm going to design a new vehicle configurator, right? In design thinking and deep dive immersion, we do a lot of research. We take a look at the inherent problems associated with the need to design a new configurator, right? We're not just stopping and saying, okay, our task is to design a new configurator. We want to research the underlying problems of the entire industry and determine how we can address those problems through our solution, okay? So in your research, one of the main things you should be after is determining what are people's biggest dissatisfaction, their biggest pain points with the car buying process, a current car buying process. And of course, overwhelmingly, the number one issue is dissatisfaction with high pressure salespeople or high pressure sales tactics that attempt to get you to spend more money than you want to spend, right? So that's what we need to address. We need to kind of remove these pain points. All right. So find out what the pain points are. You know, the first is likely going to be the high pressure salesperson. The second is going to be dealing with finance people who again may not have your best interest at hand. Remember, this is design thinking. This is deep dive immersion. This is human centered design, meaning that your solutions need to address the car buyer and not, I mean, we're not right now, the whole process is to the advantage of the salesperson and the dealership, right? And the car buyer is way back in line. We want to put the car buyer first and address their problem first, and then we'll change the whole system, right? So what we need to do is we need to configure this. We need to decide not only how the interface is going to work, but what are the functions and features of your solutions. So for example, and I've used this example a lot, is we could create our VR where we configure the whole car, right? And then we could possibly have some other features where you could send this to a drive simulator with all of your information, including the model. Where the simulator, of course, is not going to look like your model. It would be sort of like a pod in another room where you get in. It's got 360 screen so you can see what you're looking at when you're driving. You can change the weather conditions. You can also add things like a financial calculator to determine your payments if you put X amount down, or your resale value in 10 or 8 or 10 years, etc. So again, when you're thinking about this, I just really want you to add and think about the features that are addressing the underlying problem. And the underlying problem is defined by your research, right? So think about how we can address the underlying problem and change the way the system. So in other words, again, I just want to reinforce, we're not after just redesigning a kiosk. We're after adding features that eliminate the pain points associated with the car buying process. Okay, so at this point, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. But I would like you to do this. I would like you to add the features. So for your final submission, you can either label these or add a written component where you're describing each of these, their functions and features, as well as how they are addressing the pain points associated with the current car buying process. Make sense, Marcus? Let me know if it doesn't. I'll be glad to clarify. But this is a pretty important transitional point in this project. So let me know if you have any questions. All right. Thank you very much, sir.